Excuse me.
Oh my god. My allergies.
Do you want to start it over?
No, I'm not gonna start it over.
Okay, you want me to cut that out?
I'm not gonna cut that out.
Can you cut it out?
No.
All
Why?
right, then stop sneezing.
Okay. Cut.
Hello, welcome to the newest episode of this podcast.
Did you forget the name?
No, I just can't
you
say
can't
the
say
name.
it. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. So this is a special episode of this podcast because we are censored, which is also the title, if you read the title. Yes, that is right. I cannot curse, and Finn, you can't.
I can't be sarcastic.
Yes, he cannot be sarcastic, and I can't curse.
It's like it's the two, like
It's your two faves.
right. So we're gonna go through news and whatever's happened in the past 3 days. What was the last podcast? Sunday?
It was Sunday.
It was Sunday.
I'm going on vacation. That's why we're filming ahead of schedule. So hopefully nothing happens between now and when I go on vacation. Hey, can you switch to the MS Paint thing for me?
What do you mean? Oh.
Yeah.
Um.
Might be in window.
I know. I don't want to do. Well, actually, that'd be fun.
It's
Let's
there.
do this one.
Well, that's the one I was talking about, so that's good. Okay, so
All
we're
right.
sharing.
All
So
right.
this we'll be counting our
Well,
our
for
sarcasms and our curses here.
for our Spotify listeners, we just have a dashboard of totals or
Yeah.
tallies that we're gonna build.
It's a little
up.
thing on MS Paint. We'll tell you when it's marked.
Yeah. So we're
And on the
yeah.
and on the right here, there's also an additional tally for
For-
Finn and comma discrimination, but also Dylan and comma discrimination. So if anything sounds out of pocket, or if Finn says a slur, as he does a lot off screen, Yes, he does. He does.
Okay. All right, fine. Yeah.
then it's
going
gonna
to
be tallied up here.
fantastic.
Okay, that was sarcastic.
Okay. This is gonna be really hard.
That's
I
one
didn't-
tally for Finn.
Okay.
See, I'm an active listener too. And he thought I can't stop cursing. I didn't start cursing until I didn't curse for years until I learned how to curse. So I know how to I know how to not curse.
How significant!
All right, that's
I don't know how to curse until I know how to curse.
right.
Wow, that's good.
Okay, that's not sarcastic. You're just being okay. Stop sharing. And now on to our first story.
Story.
This next one actually kind of hits close to home, Finn.
It does.
Yes,
Okay.
it is our mic setup. Nope, that's the wrong one. Never mind. We're getting ahead of schedule. That is a picture of Ted Cruz on vacation. We'll
be getting to that.
There it is. It is our mic setup.
Oh, this
Can
is
you
what you
hit
want to show?
the button I want to zoom out?
Oh.
Yep, we got a new mic setup. Pretty cool, huh?
I know.
Pretty
right?
nice. For our Spotify listeners,
Yep.
it is a piece of memory foam from someone's bed, not Finn's, and duct taped to our microphone so that whenever we hit the table, like what Finn just did, and I'm sure you heard
Right.
that because this thing's
Although
not working.
It's not very good.
It's not working.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It doesn't sound as bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also gonna try not to hit the table.
We'll
But
try to.
try not to.
Try not to. Right.
Come on, man.
I'm getting lost in my own sauce.
So
I'm
that
trying
was-
not to.
So that's what we're working with.
Okay.
Okay, next thing.
So what's the first thing we have?
First thing is, Finn, have you ever gone on an airplane?
I have actually.
How was your experience?
It was not bad. It was pretty good.
Was TSA nice to you?
Yeah. Because I have like I'm pre-checked approved. So.
Can I move that box, by the way?
What?
Yeah, can I
Oh
move
yeah,
this?
you can
This
just
is
move it
fine.
over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
Will this show up when I put this up or no?
No.
Okay, cool.
Or shouldn't.
All right. So TSA,
Mm-hmm.
I shared the screen, right? Yeah, I did.
You're
I did.
sharing.
So
Sorry, Dylan's a bit technologically illiterate. So.
I don't live here.
Oh right, because that's why. Okay.
That kind of sounds sarcastic to me.
It's not sarcastic.
Here's the tough thing: being sarcastic is up to interpretation, but everyone knows what a curse is. You know. So that's rough for me. In fact, I would say it's unfair. In fact, I would even call it discriminatory. So maybe I should put it up for yours.
God. Jesus, you went from one to it not being you to advantage to me being discriminatory.
Well, you are what you are. Okay, so TSA ends long-standing policy requiring travelers to take off their shoes.
That was a thing?
Yes.
Well, okay.
They took out.
I guess
took
I'm
your
just
shoes
dumb.
off.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember, you can't have like
But
liquids
why?
and stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting to it. Okay, that was weird. I didn't know I could do that.
Sorry, it's just a bit technical.
A big change is coming soon to airport security checkpoints across the country. The TSA will soon begin phasing out travelers taking their shoes off while going through security. That's been required since 2001 after Richard Reed tried and failed to light a bomb hidden in his shoes on a plane. He's in prison at the ADX Florence Supermax facility in Fremont County. Jeff Price is an aviation professor at MSU Denver and used to help run airport security at DIA. He says advancements in technology have helped TSA better spot prohibited items, which means shoe removal might not be the only thing phased out soon.
I think the next thing you're going to see is probably the liquids in terms of, we're already seeing that for the airports that have the computed tomography, the newer types of scanners, which they have at the West Checkpoint at Denver. And a lot of airports across the country have been upgrading to those. So we're already seeing you can leave your liquids in at certain airports.
Price says DIA's West Checkpoint would be a good place for TSA to roll out their new requirements thanks to that new technology.
Probably, I would assume.
Why is this guy?
Airports.
They're filming the laptop that this guy was video calling from instead of just using the footage from the video call.
Yeah.
And also their screen is scuffed as heck.
Yeah.
You see that heck?
Heck?
Yeah, heck.
Yeah, nice. That was good.
Yeah. Shout out to the grandmas watching.
Okay. Wow. So
this is good, actually. This is good news.
This is good news.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much farther we can bring it, other than just going through like a metal detector and then being checked from like everywhere on your body. So then we can just.
How about we abolish TSA?
Whoa.
You said how much farther we can bring it. That would be the logical extreme.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, actually, hold on. Before you move on, I need to do something real quick. I forgot. I need to sign out of my account. Hold on.
So anyway, this whole shoe thing is pretty exciting.
Oh, shoe thing is very exciting.
See, now that you signed out your thing, everything's playing.
Yeah, we're fine. See? Boom. Look at that. Incredible, right? That's what.
I mean, it's sort of like, it's like you're cleaning up your own incompetence.
Cleaning up my own incompetence.
Yeah.
Is that me just forgetting?
Forgetting?
Forgetting isn't realistically incompetence. We're also running a podcast from my bedroom, so.
So when I do something wrong, it's not incompetent. It's incompetence.
It is
but
incompetence.
When you do it, it's not incompetence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add one for discrimination for Finn. But honestly, if any of us actually gets one of these genuinely, we lose the game. Because there's no justification for it, frankly. And there's no room for it. Not on this podcast.
Right, not on this podcast.
Not on this podcast.
We don't do any
Unless. Depends. Alright, I'll mark it. Okay, next thing is...
What else?
The TSA thing's cool. It's
Yeah,
annoying to
TSA 's
get
good.
through it.
You know, that's just a step closer. I haven't had to do a shoe removal thing, so
I feel like you've had, but you just don't remember.
there's a chance.
'Cause
In recent memory, I haven't had to.
When was the last time you went on a plane?
Last year.
I feel like you would remember. I don't know. I fly more than you.
Okay, cool flex.
Wasn't really a flight. Okay.
Alright, so now we got grok.
So remember, I think it was our first or second episode. Grok was doing the whole white genocide. White genocide in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
'Cause-
Against it was Elon's thing, right?
Yeah. So Elon did a little bit of a no-no in terms of. He did a little bit of no-no in terms of. What do you call people that program AI?
Programmers.
Yeah, programmers.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow.
So he directly edited and like messed with the programming of Grok.
Okay.
So instead of just letting it naturally learn things like by like teaching it and like observing stuff, he wrote into its text that it should believe in white genocide in South Africa. But also he didn't get rid of the text that said it can't lie. So it was contradicting itself. So that was
Yeah.
that was messed up.
That was good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Let's mirror off for one.
Well, what if I did mean that was good stuff? I mean,
You think it was
that
good
was
that
good.
you believe in white genocide in South Africa? Phil?
I never said that. I never said it was. It was.
You said
I
that's good stuff.
I
Come on,
never-
man. Come on.
What? It's not. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic. I thought it was just funny.
You're
I thought
you
it was
are
just.
you are lying. I was gonna say BS. That you're lying.
I am not lying.
You are lying. You definitely meant it
There-
like that.
Just continue.
Anyway, that was embarrassing.
The what?
So hey, don't hit the table.
We have the thing. We have the protector. We have the.
Hey, maybe if
thing.
we just say every time we hit the table, it becomes intentional instead of bad audio.
I just hit the table.
With a setup like this, how can we have bad audio?
You're right. This is perfect.
It's beautiful.
It's good.
It looks like a bomb. Hey, but if we put in our shoes, we can get away with it. TSA now. Anyway. So Elon is crashing out on Maine against Trump again. But he's also messing with Grok's AI.
Okay.
So this time
Okay.
this time he's making him a white nationalist. Well, he was sort of a white nationalist before, but for South Africa.
Are you
Finn-
sure this isn't fake?
No, this isn't fake. This is real.
Okay.
Finn, do you want to read this? Actually, I'll be the big slime. Can you be Grok? It won't count for your discrimination, I swear.
Okay. All right.
At Grok, which 20th century historical figure would be best suited to deal with this problem?
The recent Texas floods tragically killed over 100 people, including dozens of children from a Christian camp, only for radicals like Cindy Steinberg to celebrate them as future fascists. To deal with such vile anti-white hate, Adolf Hitler, no question, he'd spot the pattern and handle it decisively every damn time.
So so two things. Obviously, we gotta address the Adolf Hitler in the room. Guy mentioned Adolf Hitler as a 5-star candidate for being a leader. So that's crazy. I don't know what Elon did to his code to make him do this, but I'm sure Grok is dying if they had sentience. Second thing, he keeps saying every D time. I can't curse.
You can't curse.
So he
right.
keeps saying that at the end of every response Grok gives.
Every damn time.
Yeah, he talks like Elon now.
Yeah,
Cringe. He talks like a cringe person.
He does, yes.
Oh, so just... By the way, Sydney Steinberg isn't a leftist. She's like a fake leftist. She just says stuff like that on Twitter. And then Grok uses that as a justification.
To
be
like fake portray it
Yes,
as...
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Oh, remember the video I showed you of where it was AI and the AI Google thing was taking off itself? So there was an AI video of who was it? It wasn't Ryan Reynolds. It was the guy who played Spider-Man, the modern Spider-Man. Tom
Reynolds? No.
Tom Reynolds. I don't remember his name. He was supposed to play Ben 10, right? Well, he wasn't supposed to, but someone made an AI trailer of him playing as the next Ben 10 in the upcoming movie. And then AI, like the Google AI thing, it said, yes, he is playing in the new Ben 10 movie. And then in a source, like right under it, said, it was his name, no.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Tom Holland said, no, he's not playing the next Ben 10 movie. But the AI video was sourced,
I saw that too.
was for Google's AI thing itself. It's just like an Ouroboros.
Because there's the only thing that mentioning Tom Holland playing a Ben 10 movie or anything mentioning a Ben 10 movie, which isn't real, is going to be the only thing that feeds into that response from AI, and there's no one to check that.
Yeah, which is crazy. Well, yeah. Because,
it's a little. Yeah, you're right. It's an Ouroboros.
It's just eating itself.
In fact, I'm gonna mark that for an excellent reference by Finn.
Thank you.
That's not a real one.
I will,
You still have
it's
2,
in
and
my
I still
heart.
have 0.
Can I get rid of one?
No.
Okay.
If that's how it works, then I would be making excellent references, and I would have no points.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, I saw The Mask, and you didn't.
Right. Okay.
Have you seen The Truman Show?
Huh? The Truman? No.
Yeah, good movie. I'm
I've
just
heard
gonna
of it.
keep. Okay, well, maybe you should watch it.
I haven't watched it.
Try watching. Anyway, this is actually not
Right.
This is like this is the funniest one I found for me, but there's like tons and tons of these.
Yeah.
Because it's AI, so it's just they keep asking Grok these questions, and he gets more and more racist. There was one where he refers to himself as Mecha Hitler, which obviously
Mecha Hitler.
yeah, obviously I think the people using Grok sort of led him into saying that, obviously, but maybe you should have your AI have guardrails where it can't refer to itself as a fascist.
Yeah, there's AI games on Steam that have better control of what it says
Yeah.
than Grok does.
That's true.
Like it's I have to be careful with my words. It's very interesting seeing how Grok is responding to these tweets.
Frankly, it's pathetic how hard this is for you.
Okay, I would probably. Never mind.
Wow. Shocking, folks.
Not cursing is so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Once I
'Cause
forget
it-
about this list, I'll be, you know.
What does- I just have to show you some AI short videos and you get some rage.
God, that is rage bait. I hate that stuff. Anyway,
It's so
Grok is
hype.
being racist again. Don't use AI for stuff like this, or not for rage baiting. That's fine, but don't ask AI for like actual answers. Shout out to my friends who use AI like Google. You know.
I like that someone's going on to like ChatGPT and looking up
People
their
do
news.
that. People do that.
No way.
No, they do. They totally do. Come on.
There's no way. Why would it? Okay. All right.
And you know who in the friend group I'm talking about. You know who. I love him. He just has a problem is all.
Okay.
I just wish he would use Google instead. And it's not that hard. It really isn't that much different than... It's not that hard to just use Google, too. It really isn't.
It's not.
Anyway.
Brave is better.
There it is.
Brave is better.
He's doing rage bait, and I can hear him.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, for an audio format, it isn't a good idea to mumble, Finn.
Right.
Yeah.
But Brave browser is better.
Yeah, that's you. That's
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's because you don't want to admit that Brave browser is just.
See,
the
what I really don't
better
want to do is curse, Finn.
search engine, and the better browser.
Finn, honestly, with that kind of opinion, it kind of sounds like you're being sarcastic. Because
I'm
there's
not,
no way that
because
you're...
I think it's because I think
It
it's-
is a
I think
bad
it's better.
search engine.
It is not a bad search
Brave
engine.
browser
It
is a bad search engine.
It is not a bad search engine. I think it is better or to the same level as Google. It has so many other qualities that Google does not have.
Okay, you're talking about the browser. I'm talking about the search engine.
I'm saying the search engine as well.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, Epstein.
Okay. What
Do you want to talk about Epstein for a little bit?
It's not like I want to talk
It
about
feels like I've been
Epstein.
talking a lot, which is kind of dangerous for me considering the format of this podcast and this specific special episode. It's a special.
Well,
I
there's
like
not...
calling podcast episodes
Well, you can
special because it's like we're gonna
Right.
be doing them so
Well, we're
often.
gonna be having
every
a
episode
couple.
special.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a
It's
special special episode to
Yeah, Christmas special.
Right. Yeah.
No clue what we're gonna be doing for that.
That's true. Actually, I don't.
We
Will
give
you be
gifts
here for
to each other.
Christmas? Yeah. We
Am
could
I
do
gonna
that.
be here for? I have no clue actually.
Yeah. It'd give you it'd be like the gesture box that opens up and it gives you a punch in the face.
Okay, I'm gonna put that under discrimination since
That's
I don't
not discrimination.
since
Oh my
I don't
God.
celebrate Christmas. That's kind of
Oh my
discrimination.
You're just gonna put me on the list. You're discriminating
What
against.
list?
You're just
Are you
discriminating.
gonna check it twice? Come on.
Okay. All right. Just.
Who needs cursing? All right.
Okay. So recently, the DOJ, Department of Justice, came out saying that the Epstein client list is fake. It's a bunch of baloney. It doesn't exist. However, that can be easily cross-examined when, I don't even think it was a year ago. I think it was less than a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Pam Bondi said it was on her desk waiting for review. So
yeah, I mean, it had to be less. Actually, it had to be like 2 months ago because Trump had to have been in office. You know?
Yeah, she would have been. So it would have been in this presidency.
She said she has
this administration.
She said in response to a question about Epstein, I have the files on my desk.
Yeah. So one of the two is lying.
Yeah.
And I'm inclined it's the DOJ. There's just a lot of evidence to
I think
support
both
that.
are lying, actually.
Well, actually, that
straight
could,
up, I don't
that
think
could be true
I don't think she had the files on her desk. She probably had them over a pit of fire where she was burning them.
Yeah.
And certainly the DOJ with this newest stuff, DOJ and another agency, they're lying. They're 100% lying. He did kill himself. He totally killed himself. That's a lie. Come on.
Yeah. And then they gave, and then after that they gave, I think it was like 12 hours in the common area, like camera footage, to like somehow prove that nobody was near Epstein. It was trying to like give evidence towards like he did kill himself, but
the camera footage was of the wrong angle, so
and
it wasn't showing the cell.
So it wasn't even showing his cell, and there was a minute lost. I put in quotation marks.
Yeah,
that was lost in the footage as well.
Yeah.
So
and suspicion it was like 1 minute. How long do you think it takes for two guys with really big hands, like choking hands, like I'm gonna kill Epstein hands, to walk by the camera? I think 1 minute if they're walking pretty slow, and then to walk back.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what the 1 minute was. That's shocking. Anyway, so a reporter asked Trump about this because
his name is
he's the president, and also obviously he's
definitely in the flight list.
He's on the flight list.
Yeah.
Or at least he's. Okay, here's the thing. There isn't actually literally a flight list.
No, there's not.
There's not
an
recordings,
actual
though.
Client list, which there's a ton of
there's not like a
recordings.
paper note written client list.
Yeah. Of like everyone's names.
Bill Clinton,
But there should still be some sort of. There's likely
evidence.
some sort of documentation.
Well, we know there's documentation. He had cameras in his house.
Exactly.
Like we know that.
Of,
we
like,
know
the
that
people that
somebody's on these cameras. Because guess what? It can't literally... It physically
can't
just be him.
Epstein. Yeah.
There's like thousands, with like multiple thousands of victims. It literally can't just be him.
So unless... I don't know how one man can do that.
He can't.
Thousands of victims... But that's what the DOJ
Guy was a
is.
super pedophile, I guess. I don't know.
That's insane.
Insane. So Trump's DOJ, his executive branch, does something, and then he reacts this way, being asked about that thing that they did.
Yes.
Sure. Your memo and
Also,
release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein.
I also wanted to say, Trump, when he was on the campaign trail and he had an interview, he said that he would release it, but he was like. Yeah, of course I would release it. But, I don't really want to release a lot of it because, it could hurt some people's lives. And, I don't really want to hurt the people's lives
my
on
life.
that list. Right, exactly. And it was like, oh my God. He's like, it's like he's outing himself. And he did not need...
Well, here's the thing about Trump's base is that he cultivated, like, the most conspiracy-brained people, right? Like, he cultivated the people that believe this so much, And also, you can't just expect them to, like, you can't, like, InfoWars, those kind of people that listen to InfoWars, that's his base. You can't just expect those people to vote you into office because they want something very specific from you.
Well, isn't that what happened?
And then they get nothing, and then that not to have, then that not to affect you. Like, his base is gonna shrink because of this. I don't know how much, though. I don't know.
True. I mean, there definitely is, like, hyper brainwashed people. I mean,
there's people out there that it's on the right wing podcast side. There's people that love Trump still, but also have to admit that he definitely didn't kill himself, and that definitely other people were on those flight logs.
Yeah.
So they're like, Trump. I was on like info on one podcast. A guy was like, yeah, they're definitely protecting like pedophilic monsters, but is it really worth revealing that information? Like he said that. He said, is it worth? Because his argument was like, it's gonna destroy our government if we release those flight logs, because everyone's gonna be incriminated. Because that's like, he basically said he thinks Trump is on those flight logs, and he thinks a bunch of politicians are on those flight logs, but he still shouldn't release it.
Yeah,
which is the most insane take I've heard about it so far.
That is pretty bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah. All right, play the clip.
Yep.
Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from jailhouse tape on the night of the stabbing?
Yeah, sure. If I
Could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened.
So we're gonna get to that
Greatest
greatest
tragedy?
success and tragedy in Texas. He
Okay.
said we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy.
We are having some
In
of the
Texas.
greatest tragedy. Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so without saying anything else, we're just gonna move on to our next clip.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that is crazy work coming from him.
God, what a creep!
Yeah. Archive footage. Hold on. Go back for a second. Archive footage shot by NBC shows Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago with Jeffrey Epstein in 1992. They seem like close friends from all the footage
Yeah.
I've seen.
He's the same guy.
I know. That was more than a decade before Epstein's plea deal in Florida.
Yeah, that was before. That was when he got off the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some member of Trump's administration was the attorney that gave him that plea deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh, well.
So I mean, if that's shocking to you, I suppose you haven't been paying attention. These people all know each other.
Yeah.
They all met at his house.
By the way, is this what a ballroom with politicians looks like? It looks so boring. No one's dancing. Everyone looks like they're having a terrible time, except for Epstein and Donald Trump.
I don't think he's having a good time, if I'm being honest.
I mean, it seemed like he was laughing.
He was laughing, but he was laughing like a rich person fake laughs,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think he's a human being.
Okay.
Is what I'm trying to get at.
That's a different theory that you've got.
I think it's like American Psycho.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you've watched that movie, but I think if you have, that's a
I've
good
seen
reference.
clips.
You have?
I've seen clips.
Oh, Sigma Grindset clips?
I haven't. Okay, I haven't seen Sigma Grindset clips, but no, I have not watched.
It is, that's
American
actually good
Psycho.
rage bait. There's nothing that annoys me more than watching a movie through TikTok.
Did I ever say I watched it through TikTok?
Sorry, YouTube Shorts.
Thank you.
Just before we keep talking about this, I gotta check if there's anything more here. I think they just switched it over to this lady, but Pam Bondi.
Happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well.
That's not
what I meant
no,
by that.
No.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were.
Why'd she say it like that? She sounded like Jeffrey Epstein is like a villain on a children's show. That dastardly Jeffrey Epstein with his child pornography again. Arr. I hated being at his house. He didn't have the right doors.
And
He was a horrible host.
And I feel like Donald Trump's starting to get a little uncomfortable. He's like shifting in his chair.
I mean, that's not how he normally responds to stuff, right? Like that was
No, that was like
defensive.
he
was defensive somehow.
Oh,
you know?
we're still talking about this? Why are we still talking about this? I can't imagine why you would be serious about that. Couldn't be me. Okay, what else is she
Are going to
saying?
be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the
She's
minute
not going to.
missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, it was a minute, it was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well.
Wait a second, what is that? What kind of lie is that? This is actually the least secure prison in America. Their video cameras don't work correctly. They always skip 1 minute at the exact same
so
time.
they're in the prison, from what I know, there wasn't a ton of like video recording technology in it for some reason.
I wonder if that was on
There
purpose.
was also there was only like a couple, like a small handful of actual videotapes that we have from the prison, not of from Epstein or anything. They're just like from the prison itself. They also showed like some other stuff of like the layout that I saw, with like the layout of the prison and the video taken from it. The layout of the prison, it shows that his cell is not in picture of
it's the wrong angle. It's like a hallway away.
Yeah, it's so, which is also dumb.
Insane.
If she's saying that.
By the way,
as
here's
proof.
the crazy thing. The way that she's responding to it is defensive. So even with the limitations of the angle and the existing videotaping of that prison, that minute definitely shows him getting murdered, or suggests that he's getting murdered, depending on because of how defensive she is. So even with that,
yeah. But if they do get another tape with that same minute missing, you can still say it's suspicious, because they could have just taken it out post-editing to show that, oh yes, because it's this and this, which may not just be true, which may just be edited, which is why this is suspicious.
The Trump admin is like 5 more questions like this away from just making an AI video of Epstein hanging himself. You know, like I'm not joking.
There's a good chance, yeah.
Well, this is distressing.
Distressing, I think, is the wrong word. I think.
Well, I can't
scary.
use any fiery language, Finn. So I'm trying my best.
I know you're trying to, pipe down, but I think this is it's scary. I think we can both agree this is kind of a little frightening, seeing this is coming from
because the
government.
president is a pedophile.
Well,
I mean,
there's that too. Yeah. With him at Mar-a-Lago. Oh, wait. I didn't even know.
wait, where did it say this was?
What? This
Footage shot at Don. Yeah, this is Mar-a-Lago.
This was
You're
at
right.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he went to.
So he was at his place
with
with Epstein.
So he invited him then.
Yeah, he would have invited him.
But they're not that close. They're just not
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Did you hear the
He learned that he was a pedophile, and then he was like, "No way."
I can't be that. Yeah. That's not me.
No, that's
No.
disgusting. That
Yeah.
dastardly Epstein.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate his guts.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I got him killed.
Did you see the rhetoric? Did you hear the rhetoric that Donald Trump was calling him? A
Yeah.
creep?
A creep.
I know.
I know.
Instead
That's
of,
rough.
Instead of like what the contrary of what Pam Bondi called him. I love.
I'm uncomfortable even using that kind of language myself. Creep. Oof.
Yeah, that might be
Real
too
radio,
much.
real Radiohead reference there.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just so weird. It's so weird that they're so obviously trying to cover up the fact that because they don't want to talk about it anymore, and especially Trump, because if he were to release it, T would be out of the files.
Yeah. Here's the thing: even if we don't ever get evidence that he didn't hang himself, they still 100% had or have, if they kept it for some reason.
Well, yeah,
they have the videotapes
of
of
him
the
doing
people allegedly of the people going there, because Epstein filmed everything, and we know for a fact that when they raided his house that they got those files and they got those videotapes, but now suddenly after that it disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why they won't release it.
It's child pornography. We don't want you to release this stuff on Twitter. Like, we're not asking you to do that. We're asking you maybe to stop lying about it. Because you know what's in the videotapes. So why don't you tell us what's in them? Because it's not this guy doing every single sex act ever. It's everyone else doing it, and also maybe sometimes him.
Yeah, well, obviously it's going to be... it's going to be Epstein. But there were flights over to his private island. There had to have been videos or cameras from that
we
flight.
know there are. This is like...
And which
This is
they
so
have,
frustrating.
but...
How
I don't know why
stupid
won't
do they
release
think
it.
we are?
And you know what? Thinking about this now, I don't know why Biden didn't release him himself. He was the other,
I think it's because there were Democrats on the list.
There's no way.
Bill Clinton.
There's literally everyone is on the list. Like, literally every politician would probably be getting outed on that flight list.
Yeah, but it's a lot of Democrats from his era.
But, like,
It's like,
he
okay,
should be a bigger man. Just release him anyways.
Basing off Joe Biden's, as he was as a president, do you think he's as bold a person to incriminate Bill Clinton being a pedophile? Because I am 100% certain that Bill Clinton would be on this list.
Clinton, I mean...
Hell, let's say both...
I mean...
Let's say both the Clintons, honestly.
You want to say both Clintons?
Yeah. Drats. HE double hockey sticks.
Are you also saying hell is not something you can say either?
Well, that is
Okay.
a curse. Mine's bigger.
Personally, I don't think it is, but I'll take the W.
I don't like him smiling. It freaks me out.
Huh? Yeah, because he's a scary person. He's spooky. We were just talking about that.
Thanks, Finn.
Yeah, were you not listening?
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't...
Do you think he's an operative for the CIA? Or Mossad? Which is the Israeli CIA, because I know you don't know that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I think there's a good shot. I think there's a good shot.
I guess there's a chance.
This would explain their behavior about him.
Being so confidential?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
I could see it. I wouldn't be surprised because the CIA does stuff like this.
Yeah.
I don't think the CIA is above pedophilia and blackmailing people with it. I mean, it just everything we know Diddy did, he did it, but for the CIA is the difference, and also maybe Mossad.
Well, Diddy's different. He was doing it. I mean,
he wasn't just doing it for the love of the game. He was blackmailing people with it. I'm pretty sure he was Either way, it's illegal, but I'm pretty sure he was doing it for a criminal enterprise.
Well, yeah. Yes.
It's not the exact same thing, but from an outward looking in, it is sort of kind of a similar
They can be
situation.
under both the umbrella. They can be under the same umbrella.
As bad dudes, bad hombres.
Huh? Yeah. But it's also funny how Trump's dance moves haven't aged.
He dances
at all.
the exact same
He does
thing.
the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He did the same little hand hip boogie that he was doing with the YMCA.
What a bizarre
or
individual.
this.
Yeah.
Bizarre. I think it's a little more extreme than just bizarre, but yes.
Before I get to flooding, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I haven't got anything.
What are we at? Oh. God, Finn, you gotta start talking more.
What? I mean, we have flooding.
How long do you think flooding is gonna take me? 20 minutes?
Who knows? Maybe I'll pull up some AI videos. Maybe that's what I'll do next.
Yeah, actually, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you want to pull up AI videos?
Finn
Well,
tries to
let's-
rage bait me.
Well, it's not that hard. I mean, like, you're just very expressive. So you
It's
always
a podcast. They don't have to be expressed for.
well,
a
you don't
podcast.
you don't have to be expressive for a podcast.
For
But
a
I'm just saying in general.
In
Like
general?
I show you something, like you could just not say anything, and you could just sit back and look at it. But you gotta say something.
I immediately start
You
cursing.
always
right?
yeah. All right, play the clip.
So this is just gonna be B-roll while I explain some stuff about Texas.
Mm-hmm.
This is local news. Don't put the sound on.
I wasn't going to. Okay, I was just checking something.
You did nothing. Really kind of weak link, you know. So
Just talk about it. Oh my god.
okay, so 104 people died. So right now,
That's
at
terrible.
least 104 people have died due to the flash flood in Kerr County, Texas. It's not just Kerr County, obviously, because a flood doesn't really travel by county lines, but it is in Texas.
Yeah, okay.
And this- Okay, just maybe when you're yawning, don't talk. Because I have no clue what you just said.
Okay, that's fine. Honestly, keep going.
104 people dead at least, and a lot of people are missing because they don't know where they've washed up. Including 10 girls missing from Camp Mystic. That was the if you remember from the Grok segment, they were talking about the Texas flood. That was the Camp Mystic. That was the Christian camp they were talking about.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I see.
It was from what I hear, it's one of those camps that a lot of richer people would go to, like their children.
Okay.
The one of the people missing right now is related to the owner of the Kansas Chiefs. If that gives you an idea,
Okay.
it's a football team.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So this is
horrible.
very unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is pretty terrible.
It's tragic. I didn't know how long this segment was. I thought that would be longer.
I mean, we don't really have anything to say about it. It's just like
Well, I do.
flooding. That's terrible. I don't know. I don't have anything else.
But I don't know if we've never seen flash floods, but what I've heard and seen is that it comes really quickly, like within matters of 5 minutes. So that's very scary.
Oh yeah, they're
So
very.
Ted Cruz was on
Responded.
it. He was on it. He was very active. He had something to say about it. So Ted,
All right.
take it over.
So I don't know the source for what you're saying. All of the public reporting I've seen is that there were 2 alerts that went out, one just after 1 a.m., one after 4 a.m. You know, I can tell you, I talked about the partisan finger pointing. I think there have been some eager to point at the National Weather Service and say cuts there led to a lack of warning. I think that's contradicted by the facts. And if you look at the facts in particular, number one, that these warnings went out hours before the flood became a true emergency level. But number two, the National Weather Service here, New Braunfels is where they were headquartered. They had additional manpower. In fact, they had 3 additional people working that night, anticipating that it was going to be a very dangerous weather situation. I also think it's worth noting that the National Weather Service Union, which has been very critical of the DOGE cuts, has publicly said that they don't believe that the reduction in staffing had any impact whatsoever on their ability to warn of this event. And so, look, I think it is reasonable over time to engage in a retrospective and say at every level what could have been done better, because all of us would want to prevent this horrific loss of life. But I think just immediately trying to use it for either side to attack their political opponents, I think that I think that's cynical and not the right approach, particularly at a time when we're dealing with a crisis and we're dealing with grief.
So that wasn't true, anything he just said.
Okay. Wow.
So
So they added 3 people,
3 people
to
is
the
not
local
enough.
National Weather Service staff. So it turns out there are actually, I'm joking when I say this, but it turns out there are actually 3 people on staff that night. So they added 0 to 3. Oh, isn't that crazy? That's not. I don't know if there are actually 3, but what you need to understand for this story is that, guess what? When you defund the National Weather Service, and also FEMA,
Yep.
different agencies, but this is going to affect them both.
Mhm.
FEMA with the cleanup in National Weather Service
Cleanup.
with the alerting of them of this natural disaster coming towards
Yeah.
them. That will make them less effective. Who could have guessed? When you
decrease the budget
Yeah.
for an agency, they do worse.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
and more than just defunding them, which is important too, it is also a matter of experience. So what Doge did most of the time, what they did like half the time was instead of just outright firing people, which they did do a lot of doing that, they gave people that were going to retire sooner, maybe in a few 10 years, 5 years, a package that said we're gonna give you money to leave early.
Yeah.
So people that would have
Were
trained,
experienced.
that were experienced, and that would have trained the next generation of National Weather Service workers, just left. And
Yep.
so maybe these extra 3 people were straight out of college or whatever, and maybe if they had a senior figure there that was not fired, or was not let go, or is not
And there were
allowed to retire.
more than 3 people there.
Yeah, if there were more people there, maybe they would have caught it. Also, an additional thing, when they put out the alert for the flash flood, it was at night. Everyone
was
was
at night?
sleeping. Yeah, they put the alert out when people were sleeping.
So that is the worst
Yes.
point to actually put an alert out. I mean, it's good that they put out an alert, but they should be doing more
Yeah.
of it.
The
It's
thing
not like
about the
it should
flash
do
flood
one.
was it also hit at night. So it hit when they put out the
Oh, so when
alert,
they-
essentially. Within hours, yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah. So this is, they keep calling this a once-in-a-lifetime weather event
once
in Texas,
a lifetime.
but it keeps happening in Texas. So that's
So-
crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I feel like they're just saying once in a lifetime
Mhm.
to try and like push back on how hard we have cut FEMA. You
Yeah.
know, like they're just kind of like lessening the impact of the FEMA and trying to put it on like an invisible enemy that doesn't exist.
But here's the thing: there's a pretty visual enemy here.
What, the flood?
No, it's my man, the one, the only. Can you hit the button? Ted Cruz. This is an image of Ted Cruz on vacation. This is what he was doing while the flooding was happening.
Oh, okay.
He was in Greece.
Oh, he was in Greece.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So he's done this before, by the way. I caught it. I saw you.
If you didn't see me put my hand over my mouth, because I nicked my chin.
That was the giveaway. The fantastic, like a monkey.
Can I put one for discrimination? That's
Because I
rude.
called you a monkey. I
Yeah,
meant that
that's rude.
I meant that in the animal sense, not in the discrimination sense.
That's mean. Can I? That's one for
It's
discrimination.
mean. No, it's not Dylan mean. It's Dylan discrimination. Okay.
It's pretty.
Don't make
close.
me get HR in here. So this is
I am HR.
No, you're not. If anyone between
Okay.
us was HR, it would be me.
Right. Sure.
So last there was a time before when there was there was some sort of weather event. There was a natural disaster in Texas, and Ted Cruz was in he was on vacation again.
Oh, good.
He just always goes on vacation when there's I'm not gonna count it. You stopped yourself.
I keep it. You know what? We're close to the end of the episode. I don't care. I don't care.
He just keeps on going on vacation. So he was in Greece. But here's the thing. If we're gonna blame someone for this event, I'm not blaming God. I don't know God, and I don't think God did this. I know someone who did this though. It was Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Ted
'Cause he was on
Cruz
vacation.
basically killed 104 people.
I feel
growing
like
with the budget cuts.
I
With the
feel-
budget cuts
with
that
budget
he pushed for.
I feel like he knew that there was
This
a
would
potential
happen?
chance that this was going to happen.
Yeah, but he didn't care.
Well,
Republicans
there's also a
only
chance-
care about tax cuts and maybe doing war.
It
It depends
Maybe
on the-
doing war.
Ted Cruz likes doing war. He wants to. He want a regime change in Iran.
Well, that's
Tucker Carlson not so much, but both of them only care about tax cuts for the wealthy.
yeah. Both are kind of dumb.
How do you think he
not
paid for
kinda.
this vacation?
True.
With the money that would have gone to the National Weather Service. Here's an even more frustrating part about this story, though.
Mm.
So people were talking about having a local weather alert system, like sirens, in that area where the flood happened,
Uh-huh.
because they knew that it was a risk.
Right.
Because that's how weather people are. These scientists are smart.
Okay.
They knew this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So they said we should have a local weather service, a local alert system, and they said no because it was too expensive.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why they said no. Remember, this is Texas.
Yeah. That sounds about not good.
I feel like you messing with the mic is going to show up on the mic.
I don't think it will. I was just trying to get it.
The entirety of that is
Yeah.
on the on the audio side.
Sorry, I was messing with the mic because the tape is starting to unstick. The unstickums.
I
of
said
the
it.
tape.
If we got duct tape, it would have been better.
I just don't have duct tape. So.
Seems like you don't have
Yes,
any
I-
tape at all.
Oh, what did I say?
Yeah.
We didn't have
So, also, Trump also did this. Let's be clear. Trump's budget
Well, 'cause
cuts
he-
did this.
yes.
Trump's budget cuts and also the coming spending bill. That's what this is going to do. This is a not so little microcosm of things to come. When hurricane season goes into full swing, 104 people is going to look like a very small number, and that's
Yeah.
just the sad truth.
I honestly wish instead of doing budget cuts, he literally just gave the Treasury's money to. I wish he just gave the Treasury to the rich. I wish.
You might as well, honestly.
Because that's pretty much what you're
I
doing.
mean, this is
He
just
would.
one giant. This is one giant wealth
would.
siphon from the poorest Americans to the wealthiest Americans. That's all
yeah.
this is,
I mean, yeah.
and that's all. By the way, this makes it more frustrating that the Democrats can't communicate this. Because if we can do
No.
it, if we are so stupid and we can do it, why can't they? Is it so hard to say when you do a tax cut that's taking away from you, the American, the working class American, and giving it to rich people? Is
Yeah.
it that hard to say that?
Yeah,
I know you're rich. Just take one for the team. Why don't you?
Yeah. I mean, there's not really an excuse for it. They just don't. They don't want to admit it. That's all. That's it. They just don't want to admit it
Yeah. And since I still have
for
one,
some reason, and that's the bill they're against. Literally everyone was against the bill, the big beautiful bill that was going to get a ton of the budget cuts, and they still didn't do anything.
Here's the thing
Even-
about the budget bill. Not everyone knew about it, but almost every single person that was told about it and described about it hated it. Even Republicans.
Republicans.
So
too.
maybe if instead of complaining about Zoran Mamdani winning a primary during this pivotal news cycle, you chose to, I don't know, talk about the pressing issue, right? I'm talking about you senators. Maybe we would have done. Maybe we wouldn't have this giant threat looming over us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that I'm winning by such a mile,
It's not by a mile. You have one. I have three.
Finn, you can go fuck yourself. I'm so confident.
You're so confident. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because cussing is.
I prefer
It's-
cursing. So, do you have anything else you want to share? Because we have time.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Oh well.
Oh wait, we do have
We-
that. We do have the we didn't explain at the beginning of this.
Yeah,
but
we
there is a
forgot
bit
to.
of a punishment segment,
Okay.
and you agreed to this. This was actually kind of your idea. So, loser gets shot by a Nerf gun
Yeah.
like
Okay.
100 times.
Not 100 times.
Well, we loaded
I'm-
it fully.
I'm
so
kind of scared. It's one of those big machine gun things.
You re-put your so.
Okay.
See, I'm
Well, are
worried
you gonna
about
do it?
how,
Are you?
I'm worried about how this audio shows up.
Yeah. Well, you're like it's like in my face.
Okay, I'm gonna walk. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't think it's gonna be picked up in the mic after this. I'm gonna walk to that corner
Where-
and I'm gonna shoot you.
Okay. I feel like I should turn around in my chair though, and you hit me
Okay,
in
so
the
your
back.
chair gets shot?
Well,
Okay,
because
you can be on your side and you can cover your eyes and mouth.
when
You agreed to this. You thought, oh, Dylan curses so much.
I didn't say that. I said cursing.
You said I curse a lot.
I said you curse a lot, but I thought cursing was a lot of. The belt. The belt fell out of the gun. Oh my god, you're so dumb.
Okay, after technical difficulties, we are back on.
Or should be.
Should be.
Should be.
Should be. Should be. It fell off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Finn, you messed up. I'm sorry. Okay, now we're back.
Alright. Oh. Oh, don't hit my monitor.
Damn it.
My god, how are you messing this up so bad? Oh, ow. I hit my leg on the desk. That probably got picked up. Oh my god, it fell out again. Oh my god.
No, I'm not done with you.
Oh yeah. Oh, ouch. Ow, ouch, ow. Ow. Oh my god, that hurts. Ow.
Alright, that was a new lovely episode of Deadass or Dumbass. Have a nice week.
Okay.